So as we know, like in the last class we covered how to insert a new record into the table. So today I'm going to be covering how to retrieve the data from the table and to display on the UI screen. So for that, again we required one more HTML where we can where we can able to show our data, and also we required to create like a kind of URLs and views function. But there is no need of creating the models and forms, because as I already explained, models is representing tables. So if the table, if you are going to be creating a new table, then we have to create a new model. But if that is existing, so no need of creating a again the table. So that is what in previous class I already explained you like how to create a new table. So this is the already created, and even forms also already created. So nothing to do creation of these things to now into selection or deletion, because already there. So just it is required to consume the data, and we have to use that in the front end. That is what we require to do today. Okay, so that is the idea of this particular retrieval process. If time permits, we'll go with delete, otherwise in the next class we'll go for delete operation. And mostly by this week I will try to complete this internship classes by the Saturday, and next week onwards I will start the core Python. For Java people I am going to be starting core Java. Likewise, for Python people I will start the core Python, but this is for the people who enroll for complete package. So for that people, first core Python will start. Maybe you people now understand what is .py and what is this class and what is that variable. Everything you can understand now by understanding core Python. But like this terminology definitely somewhat different for you, and even to your friends also you can inform, because core Python is very important. I will mention in the our chart also. So really as a fresher, if you have a very strong knowledge on core Python or core Java, that is more enough to grab any job in any IT industry. But these are all whatever Django or HTML, these are all supporting technologies or languages which make you comfort to develop the web application basically. So whenever you want to develop a web application, so these are all the technology required, like MySQL or HTML or Bootstrap. These are all. But for grabbing an interview or to attend any interview as a fresher, or to understand technically or logically, so core Java or core Python is enough. That is more required for as a fresher basically. So next week onwards, it's very important to attend the class and do the practice. So that's what I want to say. And anyway, as I mentioned already, I will share this information in the groups also. So as for your interest, you can continue. And now we can start. A few seconds wait, it's loading that, and after that we can start our coding part. Yeah, I think it's done. So we can start our coding. Okay. So first thing, as I mentioned already, we required to create the first of all as usual the template like to display the data. Okay. So as like add.html, I'm going to be creating the view.html. Okay. So new HTML. So here I'm writing display.html. Okay. Yeah, fine. So here this is for the displaying. So just to understand you people, I'm just making a heading, that is h1 view So what is the model we created? Persons, right? Yeah. So we can write persons. Okay. Now I want to display the remaining data, but before that we have to write backend logic to fetch. Then we can come back to here. Okay. So for that, definitely we required one function to navigate to the respect to display.html. Okay. So for that, I'm writing definition display as like request, and now so we want to return to the, so as I mentioned already, so return render, so return render within the brackets request comma, so to which page we want to move, as we know, so we want to move to the display dot html, and then after I want to carry the data, right? So that is we will mention the curly bracket. But before that, okay, so we want to fetch the information from the table which is already there. So for that, it's straightforward. So we have to write the model object, that is the model object what we written if you observe here. So model object is persons. Okay, so take this reference persons dot objects dot all. So this is an inbuilt method to fetch the information from the table to the what we can say that Python logic. Okay, now we will fetch all the data, so that I'm going to be storing it in an object called persons. Okay, persons as a list, and this is in the another file, just you need to import it. So I'm just overing import it, that's all. But you require to do one more thing, import, yeah, yes. So add app dot forms my, yeah, here also no need to mention the project name, just you can mention add app dot models persons, that is enough. Yeah, and now these persons we have to send to the front end. So that is the way how we will send. It's very easy. Now our work is done. See, that is the beauty of this particular Python. So now as a model already we set up, no need to write once again, just you can write persons, persons dot objects dot all. So this will fetch all the records which are available in the table, and that will store in this particular persons. And now I'm redirecting this like a logic to the display.html by passing this data by the name of persons. Now once we are coming to the display.html, we are also having this particular persons dot data. Okay, so that I'm going to be printing over in this particular page by using the syntax called, let's take curly bracket percentile, we have to use for loop. Okay, so for person in persons, so persons is the list, I can say that. So in list we have so many objects, for each object I'm iterating the loop, that is the what the logic of this particular concept. Okay, and now we want to print it. So as I mentioned already, to print it, double curly bracket we can use. So in the double curly bracket, the name of the object, that is person dot the name of the column. So what is the column we have to we are mentioning full name and mobile, right? So here you can write full name. Similarly, I want to display the another one, curly person dot mobile. Okay, and to make it in the side by side, what I'm trying to do here, pipe symbol I'm using to make it side by side to just representation. Okay, and now finally our loop is done, right? Our logic is done. So now simply you can write curly bracket percentile, and for clear, huh? Sahi. Yeah, so this is the way how we will write the end for. End for is indicating closing of the for loop. So likewise we can write the logic. See, I will once again repeat the, hello, anybody is talking? Okay then. So first thing, I did the three things here, two things. First, I create the display.html, and then I written a simple logic called views.py where I written the function called display. followed by request, and the request is getting the data from the persons object. So persons dot objects dot all will fetch all the information from the so like now after getting all the objects into persons, I'm redirecting to the display.html. So in the display.html, I'm just reiterating the respective list by object, and I'm printing the data. So this is the way how we will print the data in the HTML. Now final touch up is link to the respective display.html. So for that, so first anyway we are opening add.html as a starting page, right? So here only I'm after the div. So here I'm creating an anchor tag, that is h reference is equal to, so view all persons. So I'm giving a link in the add link only. Okay, so now to this particular link I'm using the URL which we are going to be creating in the URLs. Okay, so now go to the URLs, and now as we know how many URLs we require, that many you can create here. So here I'm writing display, similarly v dot display, and here also display, and now finally you can add here also display. Yeah, that's all. So this is all about retrieval the data from the what we can say that database now, okay, in Django. So it is quite simple. If you understand the insert operation, it doesn't take much time. Hardly within 10 to 15 minutes, you can able to retrieve the data. So now anyway, to test it whether really is working as expected or not, we will run this application. So for that, we need to move to the current project what we currently working. So cd ad project. Yeah, fine. And now as we know, Python manage.py run server is the command to run the application. Yeah, it is ready now. Yes, see here. So we are able to see the view all person link over here. Click on that. So you can able to see the data. See that whatever we previously inserted, right? That data is coming. Now I'm trying to inserting a new data here. Let's take example. I'm inserting Kumar, and here I'm inserting 789. Yeah. So now submit. So ensure this value is less than or equal to this one. See that. So validation is also happening. If you observe that, what is indicating means we created as an integer the mobile number in the database, right? So that's why it is allow you as the integer limit only, it doesn't allow more than this. So now if I'm giving 1 here, it is accepting, I think 1 8, right? Yeah, it will accept that. See that, yeah, it is inserted now. So now view all persons, we can able to see the data also. See that the second Kumar, and now that as the coming. But what we are expectation is we have to allow the mobile number, right? So for that you should make the data type as a big int. It's not like int means it is allowing only numbers like regular numbers generally. So when we want to account numbers or bank IFSC codes or our mobile numbers, we have to define as a big int. That is the issue. And also if you observe the data also, so how it is looking like means it is giving in the same line, right? So to make it in the different line, so what I'm trying to do means here every record printing after that I'm making as a break. Okay, And also if you want to make it table style, you can write the table tag. If you want to list style, you can write the list also. It depends on your requirement. Like example, if I want to define the list, so you can write ul. Okay, so it's all depends on your requirement, how you want to print the data. Yes, you can print like that. Okay, there is no rules like that. And if you want to define the card structure also, we can define it. So here we have to write li tag. Okay, and here we have to close the li. Now, yeah, that's all. Okay, so now if you see here, the outcome will be now as a list. It will generate like unlisted. See that Satish and Kumar as a list it came. Now if you want to define the same thing in tabular format, yes, you can use the table tag. Like here instead of ul you can use the table, and here instead of li you can use the tr means records. So in individual values you can define as a tds means columns. So that all depends on your requirement. And also if you want to define as a card, so name by like contact card we are getting, right, like name followed by the data and somewhat border or something, you can define that also. It's not like there's no rule like such kind of things. Okay, you can define however you want, you can define like that. Okay, for example, if you want such kind of style also, yes, we can do that. I will show you a simple example. See that. So this is all about your interest, like class equal to I'm defining as a card. Okay, and now in this particular head only we can write style. This is already I explained how to implement the styles. So what is that? We want card, right? Card means ul and under li. So however you want, you can define like that. Now for example, I'm giving border to this, border one fix solid, and some radical I'm giving. Okay, and the padding some 30 pixel I'm giving, and after that color, test color, again I'm giving red color, and then font size I'm giving some 20 pixel. Okay, so now you see, you will even see the styled component. See that. Okay, like this the card. And to make it very simple one, like we can give the width as a some 150 pixel, and here list style none, because we don't require the dots. So list style none. Yeah, see that. So now you're able to see the card structure, right? Okay, and we can give the width as a 200 mostly. So likewise, whatever I'm telling, right, you can define as your requirement. Okay, so to make it independent cards, just you can give the margin. So margin will give the independent structure component. Margin as just you can give the 2 pixel. That's enough. Okay. Now you see the card will be independently will be created. So like this. Okay, so the styles anyway it depends on your requirement. However you require, you can do that. Okay, so this is how we will design the content, and you can motivate like by using Bootstrap and css you can design the content. Once we got the content from the backend, however you require, you can design such a way that as per the requirement. Okay, and now anyway, so we require to do one more change here, as I mentioned, that is mobile number, right? As we know, so mobile number is required to, so this is what I told you. So here we defined as an integer field, but we require so big integer, right? So that is what we required here. So here you can control space. If you type the control space, it will show you all types of fields. See that integer, char, image field, auto field means auto increment will be happen, like foreign key, model, so so many others. So now we require big integer. So that is what I did. But after that, without going directly, you need to do two things again. That is one is make migrations, another one migrate. That is as I mentioned yesterday, I mean that last class, whenever you did some changes in the models, you need to do this operation. Python manage.py, first you have to do make migrations. This is the first command you need to perform whenever you did any changes in the models.py. Okay, please remember, whenever you perform any changes in the like models, you need to do this one. And the next thing you need to do, Python manage.py, migrate. Okay, these two commands you have to perform. How many times you will do the changes in the models.py. Okay, so after this, as usual, you can start your working. Yes, it is yeah, it's completed. Now you can start execution of project. You can able to see your changes in the output. Yeah, also one more thing, we will do the changes like backlink for the display also. We didn't have the link in the display.html, right? We can write in this also, we can have one link to back to add anchor tag h reference slash you can write, and after that here add person. Okay, add person, that's all. Okay, so this will navigate from there to here, here to there. Okay, now we are making our changes. Yes, we can now see I'm adding that 9 series also. I can able to do now. Yes, see that inserted, and you can able to see view all persons. You can able to that data also see that 989. Initially it's showing error, right? But now it is not showing any error. It's adding the data. Okay, and now you are able to see the add person link. When you click on here, it's go back to the original page. Similarly, when you click on here, you are able to see the data what we are previously added. So likewise, we can do the transactions. Okay, now if you want to provide sorry, before going to the delete operation, so as of now, any doubt for anyone? So here majorly I did the two things. One is creating display.html where I am writing a small bit of logic to display the data, and in the views.py I created a display function where it will fetch the data and redirecting to the display.html. That's all. So these are the changes what I made today. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me, or else I will start the delete logic.
Sir,
Yeah,
can you show me again? How can you add 9 series?
yeah. If you want to add the larger numbers, just you need to change the field where you want to insert in the models to the from integer field to big integer field. This is what you need to change. Is it clear?
Okay, sir, thank you.
Yeah, for regular numbers, you can go for integer field. For larger numbers like account numbers or pin codes or mobile numbers, you can take the big integer field. And here char field limit, like how many characters maximum you want to give, so that you can define, so that for any number of content you can go for char field. This is okay, but integer and big integer will be differentiated. Any other doubts? Okay, great. Okay, then we will start now. insert.html. Okay, so in insert.html, sorry, delete.html. So first of all, I want to create a link beside the every record, every contact I'm showing here. Like for example, here I want to display the delete here and here, like that. Okay, so that means we have to provide delete link in the this loop itself. Okay, so otherwise it's not easy to adding this particular component. Okay, so for that, if you want to add simply delete, yes, you can add some as usual pipe symbol, and you can add the same as usual anchor tag. Okay, h reference is equal to, and close that, and you can write the delete. And instead of that, if you want to showcase some icon like bin icon, as I already mentioned, so you can take the static folder where you can add this particular image, and you can integrate this particular component. That is also okay. It depends on the your interest. Okay, so now I'm sure, like if you want to do this particular operation, definitely we require one URL, and as usual one function. Everything is similar to, again, the same story. But uh, please, one thing we have to understand, like here, if you want to delete that particular record, we have to identify, or we have to specify which record you want to delete, because it's not meaning that all records we are not deleting, specifically one record, right? So for that, we have to pass the id of the respective data. I can say that id of the respective component. Okay, so for that, like whatever the id we are going to be inserting, so that I'm just replacing everything in a proper way. Okay, so that everything will be aligned easily. Yeah, yeah, this is the, like how it will be. So now whatever the data we are going to be inserting here, so the person's full name or person's mobile, like likewise we have I mean that the table or the columns what we have in the model will be creating a common id also for every table. It's not for specific table, every table there will be id. Okay, so now I'm going to be displaying that id also to clear you. Person dot id, it will be auto created, Nana, so no need to create from our side. Okay, now I'm saving it. Just check it out whether that id is coming or not. We'll check it out now. Yeah, see that for everything, if you observe that, see 1 and 2 and 3, like that the id is coming, if you observe that. Okay, so this is what I'm telling, like for everything by default the id will be generated, and will not insert also, it will be auto created, and this id will be auto increment fashion generally. That means like serial number will be generated in generally. Okay, so that's why it should be always keep on incrementing the value. Okay, now link also created, if you observe that, see every besides every record there is a delete link. But now, as I mentioned already, to this delete we require to pass this particular id. Why? Because the backend should understand which record we are going to be deleting, like second or third or fourth, which one. So that we are indicating now. Okay, so how we will do means, see here in the delete, so definitely we have to create a url, that is I'm writing delete. Okay, comma v dot delete, comma name equal to delete. So vice versa, v dot delete means we should write a function in the views. Okay, so definition delete bracket open request, and now return after deletion. I want to go back to the same here only. Okay, so the same two lines once again I will write here, just for understanding I'm telling. Okay, so just what I'm trying to do here, if you observe that, so I'm just navigating to the same link as of now. Okay, so for that I'm just giving the link as a delete only. Okay, just I'm changing this to I mean that to verify. First of all, we will verify whether it is working as expected or not. Okay, yeah, now what is expecting, when we click on this, the same page, it has to redirect to the same page. Yeah, we got it. So now I'm clicking on delete. So now you see it is coming back to the same link only. That means it is working fine. But after opening this page, it has to be deleted. So that means the record what we are showing, it should delete here. So that I'm trying to doing now. Okay. So for that, as I mentioned just before, we have to add question mark ID is equal to, and here we have to pass this particular ID. This is the first thing we have to do. Second thing we have to do here is in urls.py we have to capture that ID, that is here it's not question mark, sorry, I think it is slash. One second, it is slash, yeah. And here also we have to write slash less than id colon what type it is, so it is int type. So this we have to write for by passing the id. Similarly, in the more sorry views also you have to take that id. Yeah, so this is what we require to do here. So here print, I'm printing that id is really coming or not. Okay, id, yes. So now users, it is not required. Okay, so simply delete slash curly bracket person dot id is enough, and then in urls it is delete slash id integer, and in the views it is request dot comma id. Yeah, so now we will check it out whether it is running or not. Okay, yeah. So now refresh. First thing, see sometimes if it is taking the time, then it will show. Yeah, it is showing still error. What is that? id colon. Okay, back. Yeah, we got an error. So I think there is a mistake in URLs. Yeah. So here it is reverse. So initially it should be int and then it will be id. Yeah. So now we will save it. Yeah, it's working fine now. So see here, the first thing, here URL will be delete slash int id because we are passing the id which is type of int. So that is the meaning of this. And in the like display.html, so we have to give the request name followed by slash and the id which actual the which we are passing. Okay, that is person.id. So this is the second thing. And third thing, obviously in views we have to update. So request comma id, this is the id which we are getting, but we have to remove this id. By this id, whatever the id we have, right? So we have to remove it. So for that, persons dot, we have a method like what we call delete. Okay, so where you have to pass this particular id is equal to id. Okay, and now finally we have to obviously after this particular operation we have to go back to the our main window, that is like redirecting to the our what I can say, that main page I can say that. Okay, so I can say that persons dot delete, but it's not like bypassing. First we have to retrieve the object, that is person, and here also it is small person means specific record, right? Not all the records. The person is equal to, we have to retrieve that specific component. So like persons dot, we have a method like get. So now objects dot get. Okay, So get will fetch the specific object by passing id equal to id. Yes. Now this person will be retrieved, and we are deleting this, and after that, as I mentioned already, we are fetching the same data once again. That means the updated data we are sent back to the same table called display.html. So this is the logic for deleting the specific record in the table. Okay. So now, as I hope you understand, the first thing I did here is display.html. I'm providing a link to end user to delete the respective record. Okay. So for that, I'm using delete as this is your own name. That is not a mandatory thing. You can define your own name, but this is fixed. However, whatever the name we are using here, the same thing we have to provide. And then we should go for URL. So URL should be defined like that. So delete slash int of id. And then finally in the views we have to provide a delete function which is taking an argument. Anyway, request is common, as I mentioned, default, but id additionally we are passing. And first we are trying to fetch the object which is having this given id what we are passing. So that is we call person, and now this person I'm deleting by the method of delete. So this is again inbuilt method. This all get is inbuilt method, and this all is inbuilt method. So all will fetch all the records from the table, get will fetch the specific record for given id, and delete will delete the respective object. And after deletion again I'm reiterating the same persons, and I'm get sent back to the display.html. And now go back to the link. Yeah. So first thing, I'm just adding the new name. Okay, let's take example Sagar. Let's take number 9010990285. Okay, now submit. And now after this view all persons, I'm going back. So now you can able to see all the records here. Total 6 records are there. Now I'm trying to deleting the third record. Okay, so delete. So see that if you observe that 1 2 4 is there, there is no 3 record. If you observe that, so 5 6 is coming. Now I'm going to be deleting fourth record. See that, but it's showing wrong. What happens here? Yes. So it's a overlapping the second time again. So that's why it is showing the delete for delete. So that means what is the wrong here means I will tell you. Where is the delete? Yeah, yeah. So here delete of person ID is correct only, but what we did here, so what we did wrong means, like see, after deleting, we want to open the display.html, but what is here happening means we are overlapping with the URL what we are. And if you observe here clearly the URL whatever we are able to see, I'm minimizing the screen. Okay, so you can able to see the difference. Where is this? Yeah, this one, right? I'm just scrolling to understand. See, here it is showing actually this page is display, right? But what is it showing? Delete is showing. Why? Because we are like reloading the display HTML by just using the render, not by the redirect. So that is the issue. Like example here, if you see return render, we return, right? So actually this has to be happened by this particular method, but not again we are replacing the, I mean that reusing the same code in the delete also. So that is the issue, the problem what we are getting here. So instead of that we can use the, I can say that we can use the instead of like HTTP render, we can use even like what we can say that response redirect we can use. So that might help resolve our issue maybe. So we will see, otherwise any other option we'll see. Okay, first I'm removing this. I'm just after this I'm navigating to this display method by mentioning that. So here return redirect. Okay, so we have any option like redirect, render is there, read line report lab. Okay, so return http response redirect. Okay, redirect bracket open close. So hover on this, import it. Okay, and now here you can pass the reverse of the name of the function, that is display. Okay, here in the single quotes you can mention the name. So this is also you need to import from the uh, Django URLs reverse. Yeah, this one we require Django URLs. You can import it. Yes, I hope it will work. So we'll see what happened once again. So we are trying to resolving the redirection issue. So because of that overlapping, we are unable to overlapping, or we are unable to redirecting to the same page again. So go add person, I'm clicking on again. So now view all persons. So you are, if you are observing clearly, here you see display is came now. So now I'm trying to insert the fourth record. Okay. Yes, see that now instead of showing delete, now you are able to see display only. Now parallelly at it, initially once we delete, we are unable to delete the next record, right? But now you see if you click on, you are able to delete in the another record also. See that. So likewise we can avoid the redirection issues. Okay, so what I tried to explain means, whenever you want to use the same logic once again in the same redirection, instead of writing the two lines once again, you can use the existing display function as this particular response redirect option. So this will avoid, I mean this will overcome the issue what just before we got it, like deleting or redirecting the multiple times in the same page, it may overcome. So this is the way how we will delete the data, and we will come back to the point. So as of now, any doubt final, like there is one more point to cover, so that is by that we can conclude the class. But before that, as of now, does anyone have any doubts? Any doubts as of now? Can anyone confirm so that I can continue? Yeah, so as I mentioned, so I didn't hear anything, so I can continue. The final touch up is confirmation. Like mostly, see, unfortunately, someone click on delete. If it is deleting means it is accidentally also happening, right? So before deleting, I just want to give the confirmation to the end user, like he want to really delete it. So for that, we require to add a simple function, not a big task. So that is on click. Okay, so on click, we can give giving that return okay, sorry, return, just validate. Okay, I'm giving validate as a function, that's all. So now this validate, it is to only to confirm now, that's all. Okay, this validate I'm going to be creating in the script wise. So now script script, and here we can write function. Okay, validate, bracket open close, and enter, and here bracket close, and in this validate we should require to write very simple thing, if or very straightforward also, you can write in single line. Return confirm, confirm, that is, do you want to delete it really? Okay, I'm just asking to reconfirming by the user. That's all. That's all, Anna. So just a few lines we have to add. These two lines if you're adding, then it will ask you the confirmation by the user whether he want to really delete that user or not. Okay, so now we will run this. I'm refreshing once again, and now you see I'm just clicking on delete. So now you see, do you want to really delete? Cancel. It doesn't delete it now. But when I'm clicking on delete, if it's asking okay, then you see you are able to delete this. So this is how we will approach the like logic. Okay, so this is the way how we can ask the confirmation message to the end user before deleting or before performing actual action. Not only here, wherever you require like some confirmation from an end user, you can use this kind of logic. Okay, so this is all about fetching the data and deleting the data. Okay, so tomorrow we will mean the tomorrow means day afternoon, like we'll cover the next component. So as I mentioned, right, like within one or two classes we can able to complete the internship classes, and we'll fully focused on core Python, where you can understand really what is this for loop, and how this loop will be iterating, or what is this meaning of function or print. This everything you can understand. Okay, so everything detail will explain in the core Python. So please attend the classes regularly without missing, so you can understand better about the Python also. Okay. Yeah. Take care for today, and I will share the video also with you. And if something is really required, or if you feel something is missed, you can come to the office offline also for practice, or you can ping me in chat also. Okay. Yeah. Take care. Bye.